Hello again, I am Blunty. A couple of weeks ago I showed you some hoop jumpy hacky kind of ways to get PlayStation Remote Play working on your Oculus Quest. It was a little bit janky, but it worked, and the reason I didn't bother trying that with the Xbox app is because we were promised an official way to do that, which has now arrived. As of this morning, I woke up to the news that the official Xbox app for MetaQuest 3, MetaQuest 2, and MetaQuest Pro, I believe as well, probably. Has become available. So I installed it, I gave it a go, and here's what I thought. So installation is as simple as any other Quest app is, of course. You just click on the thing in the shop and it installs. When you boot it up, it will step you through syncing your controller. And I did try syncing it with third-party controllers, like this Gulikit one here that I've reviewed in the past. Link it down below if you're curious about that. And also the official Xbox controller. They didn't work at first, like at all. They were synced, and the Quest 3 would recognize that they were connected, because when I pressed the button, it automatically switched away from the, the VR controllers. Going, okay, controller time now, we'll put these away. But then none of the inputs worked, like at all. None of the buttons, D-pad, sticks, nothing. I had to reboot the Quest 3, like do it just a hard reboot, and then it worked flawlessly. Don't know what that's about, but weird. If you're having the same trouble, that's what you need to do. Just, have you tried turning it off and on again? First step in all tech problem solving, and it worked this time. After that, you're straight into the app, and it looks exactly like the Xbox app does on your phone and whatnot. Now, I don't currently have an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription active. I just don't need it active at the moment. There's nothing on there that I'm currently needing to play, and I don't need it for online for anything at the moment. And usually you would need that subscription for any kind of Xbox cloud gaming. There are very few exceptions, including Fortnite, which you can play just for free, just because you've got an Xbox pass. You know, their hopes is that you spend money on Fortnite and they get a little piece of that, and maybe you find it so good you wind up paying for the subscription so you could play other stuff doing that way as well. It's kind of a little taster. And I am absolutely not a Fortnite player, but I did reinstall Fortnite a few days ago to try out the new Lego Fortnite survival sandbox crafty kind of mode, which is pretty fun, by the way. It's one of the better free options for that kind of game. But as a sandbox crafter game, it doesn't do anything special. There are a lot better games out there doing this exact same kind of thing, but even way better. What it does have going for it is the absolute charm of its Lego aesthetic. So, yeah, if you ever wanted to give one of these kind of survival crafty sandbox games a go, well, now you can for free in Fortnite. The clips and whatnot you're watching now are recorded using the inbuilt recorder on the Quest 3. It was just the quickest and easiest way to get this done this morning. So the quality is not especially representative of the visual quality you're getting inside the headset. The gameplay streaming is very responsive. I sensed very little lag. And it's mostly pretty clear. I did get some macro blocking here and there, particularly when I was moving about quite fastly or spinning the camera, which is completely normal and expected for this kind of service, really, but it was very brief and relatively rare and wasn't sort of interruptive of the gameplay experience. So completely tolerable when it comes to that. Everything else was liquid smooth. I didn't feel any frame drops, no hitching, no catching, anything like that. Gameplay, for all intents and purposes, felt local. As you can see down the bottom of the screen here, you've got a few selections of preset screen sizes. Unfortunately, you can't sort of free size the screen like you can on a lot of apps like this. And you can't really position it up or down or, you know, in various places in your field of view. It's pretty much just in the center there. But you can, of course, recenter your Quest by sort of holding down the menu button, so you can just look in the direction you want to be looking, or where you're sitting, and just recenter and put it in front of you. But yeah, it's pretty limited when it comes to that kind of stuff. But the screen sizes are, you know, they do give you some flexibility there. You got 4 different sizes. Most of the clips I'm showing you are using the medium-sized one because that just shows a good portion of the screen in the recordings. But in VR, I would be personally using the next one up because that produces a nice big screen that takes up pretty much all your field of view without having to make you turn your head to see the screen, which the biggest size will do. But depending on what game you're playing, the different sizes of screens are going to be different effectiveness as far as immersion goes. If you're playing, say, a first-person game or a racing game, for example, when you're sitting in the cockpit, you might want to use that really big screen to sort of fill up the entirety of your field of vision. If you're playing a third-person action RPG style thing, like the Lego Fortnite thing, then the medium screen is quite nice. You just get a nice big screen hovering in front of you. You can play without sort of moving your head around, and it looks crisp and clean and clear and colourful. Aside from that, you've got all the same basic options you do in the other versions of the Xbox streaming app. And of course, as you may expect, if you're playing multiplayer with a voice chat, it will use the onboard mic on the Quest for that. And yes, you can use it in pass-through mode as well if you want to sort of keep an eye on your surroundings. You've got, you know, pets or kids or other family members running around, or you just think it's cool to have a screen floating in a virtual space in your home, in your room, in your apartment, whatever. Personally, I haven't been using the pass-through mode much in my Quest 3. It's a nifty novelty, and for some stuff, it's really, really handy. But for the most part, I like sitting in virtual environments when I'm looking at screens, whether I'm watching a movie or whether I'm playing games on virtual flat, 2D games on flat screens. Well, flat screen games in VR, virtual theaters and whatnot. And in this instance, in the Xbox app, there is only one default environment. It's quite nice. It's fairly minimal, but with some nice design touches that feel kind of Xboxy. Big sort of windows with a little reflective in the rounded corners of it, so you can just catch the reflection of the Xbox logo. It's subtle enough not to be distracting, but kind of cool enough to go, yeah, this is an Xbox experience I'm having right now. I would expect sometime in the future they will probably incorporate custom or a selection at least of available environments, like almost every app of this kind does already, including Meta's own home environment, which just added a whole bunch of new ones. Which reminds me, I just got the version 60 update, so I need to check that out this morning. I haven't looked at the new environments yet, home environments. But yeah, I expect at some point we'll get choices for that, because this is still classed as beta as well. But yeah, aside from that, not much else to tell. It installs easy, it sets up easy, it just kind of works. With the exception of having to turn off and on my entire Quest 3 just to get the controllers to operate properly. But again, beta hiccups? Shrug? Or that might be something about the way the Meta headset handles Bluetooth connections. It's not the first time I've had a little bit of jank in that area on these headsets. Anyway, hopefully you found this useful and interesting and informative. I am Blunty. I will catch you next time. Thank you as always to the patrons scrolling up above there. And yeah, let me know how you're getting on with your Quest 3 and your Xbox app. And unfortunately, as far as the Steam VR thing going, just calling back to another recent video, I'm still having no luck with that. It's still broken AF. It's really frustrating. Catch you next time.